Imagine this. You are about to propose to the love of your life. You have the ring picked out and the plan in place. And then, out of nowhere, you catch her in a lie. A big one. She says she's with her best friend, but you know for an impossible fact. Because that friend, she's standing right next to you. What would you do? Confront her? Spy on her? Assume the worst? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. And let me tell you, what I found out shocked me. I had been planning something special for a while now, something that would change my life forever. After 3 amazing years with my girlfriend, I was finally ready to propose. She was everything I had ever wanted, kind, funny, spontaneous, and full of life. But there was one problem. I was absolutely terrible at picking out jewelry. Now, when I say terrible, I mean completely clueless. I was the kind of guy who thought heart-shaped necklaces were romantic, not realizing they were considered tacky by most women. So, whenever I wanted to get her a nice piece of jewelry, I always asked for help from our mutual friends. Luckily, my girlfriend's best friend, Justine, was always there to save the day. She knew my girlfriend better than anyone, even better than me sometimes, so it made sense to ask her for advice on picking out the perfect engagement ring. When the day finally came, my girlfriend had plans to visit her sister and baby nephew, which gave me the perfect opportunity. I invited Justine over so we could go through some catalogs together. But after flipping through dozens of pages and not finding the one, we decided it would be better to go to a jewelry store and see the rings in person. There was just one problem. I had no idea when my girlfriend would be back. I didn't want her walking in and ruining the surprise, so Justine and I came up with a clever way to check how much time we had. I casually texted my girlfriend saying I was ordering takeout and needed to know when she'd be home so I could time the delivery. Her response was completely normal, at first. She told me it would be a few hours because she had met up with Justine to go shopping. I froze. Justine was standing right next to me. I immediately showed her the text, and she looked just as confused as I was. We both stared at each other, trying to make sense of what we had just read. My girlfriend wasn't just mistaken, she had lied. At first, I tried to rationalize it. She was a spontaneous person, always making last-minute plans to grab coffee, go shopping, or have lunch with friends. It wouldn't have been unusual for her to run into Justine randomly and hang out, but that wasn't what happened. Justine was with me the whole time. There was no possible way my girlfriend had seen her that day. I felt my stomach sink. My heart started racing as a million thoughts ran through my head. Why would she lie? The simplest, most logical explanation was the worst one. She was hiding something. And if she was hiding something, that meant it was something she didn't want me to know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to believe that my girlfriend, the woman I was about to propose to, was lying to me. But at the same time, I couldn't ignore what had just happened. So, I decided to play along. When she came home that evening, I pretended everything was fine. We ate takeout together like we always did, cuddled on the couch and talked about our day. But inside, I felt like I was falling apart. I couldn't look at her the same way. Every time I glanced at her, I felt that lie hanging between us like a dark cloud. She must have noticed something was off because she kept asking if I was okay. I wanted to tell her. I wanted to just blurt out, "Why did you lie to me?" But I couldn't. If I confronted her, she would ask how I knew, and the only way to explain that would be to tell her about the proposal. I wasn't ready for that. I spent the entire night overthinking. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe there was an innocent explanation. But what if there wasn't? What if she was meeting someone behind my back? I kept replaying her text in my mind. I met up with Justine to go shopping. But Justine was never there. I barely slept. The next day, I tried to act normal, but the doubt wouldn't leave me alone. I considered every possible way to confront her without revealing the proposal, but none of them made sense. I couldn't pretend I randomly ran into Justine. She would know I had stayed home all day. I couldn't say Justine told me, because then she would wonder why Justine and I were together in the first place. The only option left was the truth. That night, once we were finally settled in after a long day, I took a deep breath and decided to just lay it all out. I told her I had been thinking about marriage, that she probably suspected a proposal was coming soon, and that I wanted to make sure I got the perfect ring, so I invited Justine over to help me. I explained that, coincidentally, that was the same day she told me she was with Justine, which obviously wasn't possible. So, what was going on? For a moment, she just stared at me. Then, to my surprise, she started grinning like an idiot. She didn't look nervous, she didn't look guilty, she looked excited. I was completely caught off guard. She started poking fun at me, asking about the proposal, trying to get me to spill details about the ring. But after a few minutes, we got back to the actual issue. Where had she really been? That was when she pulled out her phone and showed me a picture. In it, she was holding a small, curled-up Kenyan sand boa, the cutest snake I had ever seen. Now here's the thing, I love snakes. I grew up with them and always wanted one as a pet, but my girlfriend was never comfortable with the idea. I had completely accepted that I would probably never own one again. Turns out, she had been working on conquering her fear for months. She had been researching, watching videos, and even visiting reptile stores to learn about caring for them. That day, she had gone to put a deposit down on a baby sand boa as a surprise for me. I was speechless. She thought I would be so excited about the snake that she wanted to keep it a secret until it was time to bring it home. So, when I texted her, she panicked and made up the first excuse that came to mind, meeting Justine. I couldn't believe it. I had spent the last 24 hours convinced my girlfriend was hiding something terrible when, in reality, she was planning the sweetest surprise ever. In the end, everything worked out. We picked up our new little snake the following week, and I still went through with the proposal. Because if there was ever a sign that she was the one, this was it. It wasn't the ending I expected, but honestly, it was perfect. So, what would you have done in my situation? Would you have confronted her right away, waited it out like I did, or gone full detective mode? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this wild twist, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more real-life drama. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.